The world's largest election has come to an end, and now, defying expectations and poll predictions, millions of voters in India have issued a decisive mandate. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will return to power for a historic third time, but his party, the BJP, won't be governing alone for the first time in a decade. The opposition coalition has made a comeback, hurting the BJP's chances of a sweeping majority. And Modi says his new term will be one of big decisions. Well, the Indian government has failed to give visas to Al Jazeera's correspondents to cover this story, so we're reporting on this election from outside the country. Here's Um-e-Kulsoom Shariff.
Winning, but on a losing streak. As tens of millions of ballots are being counted in India, the governing BJP and its allies are in the lead, but far from the predictions of exit polls and the party's own estimates. Analysts say it's a setback for Prime Minister Narendra Modi, a populist leader who sought a third term on a Hindu nationalist campaign.
This is a defeat for Prime Minister Narendra Modi, both politically and morally.
But Prime Minister Narendra Modi has claimed victory.
My coalition is coming back to govern for a third consecutive term, and that's a guarantee. We're grateful to the people. This is the first time a government that's completed 2 terms will return for a third term.
The BJP's popularity in Uttar Pradesh, the most populous and politically crucial state, is also on a decline. The party lost its seat in Ayodhya, the city where Modi inaugurated a temple in January, fulfilling a decades-old promise. It was built on the ruins of a historic mosque that was destroyed by right-wing groups in the early 1990s. Many Hindus believe Lord Ram, one of Hinduism's most revered deities, was born here. But analysts say this election has shown the politics of religion has failed.
Uttar Pradesh, which was really a laboratory for Hindutva, where Ram Temple was built, shows that people have gone beyond Ram Temple.
BJP's loss is the opposition's gain in states like Manipur. The northeastern state governed by the BJP has witnessed ethnic violence in the past year. The opposition alliance is led by the Indian National Congress, which governed India for much of its history. It says the results so far are a clear rejection of Modi's leadership of 10 years.
The main thing that this election has said, the country has unanimously and clearly stated, we do not want Mr. Narendra Modi and Mr. Amit Shah to be involved in the running of this country.
The Election Commission says of the nearly 1 billion registered voters, more than 640 million cast their ballots. The 7-phase election that began on April 19 was held as much of India battled a severe heatwave. The campaign was deeply divisive. Modi was accused of hate speech, calling the 200 million Muslim minority community infiltrators. India's lower house of parliament, or Lok Sabha, has 543 seats. A party or coalition needs to win 272 seats to form a government. Supporters of the BJP and Congress are celebrating outside their respective party headquarters in New Delhi.
It doesn't matter if we win 400 seats. We are forming the government. Modi will be the Prime Minister for a third time.
People were fed up of Modi's authoritarian rule. This is why the India alliance has such a historic mandate.
India is long accustomed to coalition politics. But now, with a slim majority and the need to work with other parties, Narendra Modi's role as Prime Minister may be at risk. Um-e-Kulsoom Shariff, Al Jazeera.
And joining me now is Sanjay Kapoor. He's the editor of Hard News, and he comes to us live from New Delhi. A good day, sir. With this mandate that voters gave Mr. Modi, walk us through what is going to happen now.
It's been a very fascinating day. Not many people expected it to go this way, primarily after the exit polls, which promised much better results for Mr. Modi's government. So it came as a bit of a surprise for many people who made good money yesterday in the stock market, and they're hoping the same thing they will do today. But sadly, it didn't happen. So now what is expected is Mr. Modi is going to get in touch with two of the allies. In fact, they are in touch. The intermediaries are at work, and they would want them to join the government. I think there would be a promise of some juicy jobs for them, maybe deputy prime minister or something else. All kinds of suggestions are going around, and I'm sure there would be a lot of give and take. I'm looking forward to is that Mr. Modi would be asked to cut down on his aggression. There would also be some kind of rollback on his communal politics. There would also demand that the very, very disturbing draconian law, which puts many politicians behind bars, including the Delhi Chief Minister, as well as the former Chief Minister of Jharkhand, they should be released, because even one gentleman that Mr. Modi would be seeking help from, Mr. Chandrababu Naidu, who not long back was also in jail. So there is a possibility of interesting things happening in the coming days.
Right. If we just widen our aperture a little bit and just see what impact this will have in terms of foreign policy, and, as part of, the world, our parts of the world are looking for ways to diversify away from China. Many have been looking towards India. Will this outcome that we have right now allow it to capitalize on that trend? And how do you see it going forward?
My belief is, in fact, we have been in serious discussion with other people about how they see its impact on foreign policy. I think in the coming days, Mr. Modi would try to give an impression of business as usual, get on with the G7 summit, which is going to take place in Italy, and do a few more things here and there. But I think he would be obsessed about stabilizing his government. He'll become more inward-looking, try to see that the threat that may come to him from different quarters subsides quite a bit, because there will be challenges coming in the parliament. There'll be bills that have to be passed, and there was bound to be a great amount of compromise that he would have to make. In the past, when he had a brute majority, he would not be compromising. He'd always project himself as somebody very strong and somebody very muscular, who would not have to compromise for the sake of the nation, as he tried to interpret. But now I think it's going to be a different reality. I'm sure his allies will feel most uncomfortable if he continues to speak in the manner he did, trying to provoke the Muslims and trying to do many things that he did. It's going to be a different government altogether.
A different government altogether. Sanjay Kapoor, thank you so much.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.